What's up, everyone? This is Bacon, and today we're going to be talking about the best things to spend money on for this dimensional event. So basically, for those of you who feel like you want to spend a little bit of money, maybe 5, 10 bucks, 20 bucks max, where's your best value at as far as getting the maximum amount of summons for this event? Now, we're going to be talking about a few different things I would avoid, things that I think are, if you're going to be spending money, good deals. Like a lot of you know, I'm a pretty low spender. I think in total, I've probably spent like 10, 15 bucks on this game forever. And so I'm not a big spender. I haven't spent on a lot of things. I just get those little tiny packs once in a while. But we're going to go ahead and do that. But before we do that, I'm just going to go ahead and make some summons. Just because I have a little bit more. I've been doing, I'm like just below one more. That stinks. I've been doing a lot of pushing and campaign and towers. All right, I got nothing. So I've been getting a lot of more diamonds. I've been trying to get more diamonds by pushing towers in campaign. Now, since I just failed in getting anything there, let's go ahead and talk about where you can get different resources for this event and how you can get them. So, like I said, we're just talking about ways to spend real money. But there's two ways you can summon in this event, if you didn't know. You can use your diamonds or you can use your scrolls. 10 poles is 3,000 diamonds, so that basically adds a value of one scroll of 300 diamonds. So we go ahead and look at the dimensional deals. We can see here for $5, you basically get 11 summons, plus the free ones, so you get 14 summons, plus a little 100 sprinkle of diamonds on top. But you also get a copy of Chahayan, and she, if you already have a copy of her, will basically count as a summoning spirit. So you can use her copy as one of these things, which is very valuable. That's probably worth, 2%? So, one second, let me do the math here. Wait, 2% would mean every 50 pulls I should get one. So one copy of those is basically worth 50 pulls. So keep that in mind. So these, I think, are pretty good deals. If you're going to buy these, I would say just buying the first one of each of these is not a bad idea. That's $10 in total. You get essentially 100 pulls from these copies that you can use. And then you can also go ahead and get these pulls here, which is just a nice little bonus. So that's one area that I think is pretty valuable with these events. You get these just through the event. It's a basically event deal. So you have the entire time to do it. You could wait until the end and see, well, maybe I'm like 100 pulls off, or I need a little bit more copies to get someone to a certain point. But that is, I think, a good deal. After that, it goes up to $30. Which I think is a pretty big jump. You get the Spirit Shard, which is nice, and you get 65 plus, like, the equivalent of about 7 pulls, so about 72 pulls plus one of these. I'd say it's about 120 pulls-ish worth plus these, which are nice. That's a lot of them, actually. But $30 seems pretty steep, so keep that in mind. Another area you can get it is through the summoning shop here. Make sure you claim your free ones. And then for $5, you can get 15 pulls and 300 diamonds compared to the $5 deal in the event-specific one. This one's just not as good. And then I think, $15 seems pretty pricey for this amount of pulls. This is, if you're doing well, this is basically going to give you a single shard for $15. Obviously, you can get lucky, you can get more. You could also be unlucky and get less. That's just kind of how it works out. Now, another area that some of you will have access to, some of you may not, is the what are these called? Advancement rewards and climbers bundles. So these two things, you basically get more rewards as you progress in the game. So if you have progressed to chapter 31 or farther on here, or if you've gotten your King Tower to 460, you can claim everything in this pass. And once you buy it, you have it forever. So like, if you're only at like 380, but you're not at 420 or 460, you can still buy it and get these, and then you can claim these later. But basically, as you progress on these different stages, you get diamonds. You get 45,000 diamonds for each of them. $20 is kind of a steep amount, but 45,000 diamonds would get you, I believe, 150 pulls. So the equivalent of about 3 shards. So I think if you still have this, if you have not bought this and used the diamonds, this is not a bad area to basically spend your money on. This is a better value than packs like this. $25, you get barely like 12 pulls, 11 pulls. This is a horrible thing. Do not buy that. Similarly, like these $100 ones, these are crazy. Just these in general, the basic bundles are pretty crazy. This $15 one here, I wouldn't get it. I don't think it's that great of a deal. There's a lot better options. You spend $5 more and you get 150 pulls versus like 23 plus 30 regular scrolls, which is not that valuable. So I think the weekly deals you kind of just want to avoid too. And for those, another thing that you can consider for $15, you can activate the monthly card. This will give you 1 Destiny scroll a day, so about 25 for the remainder of the event, and then 200 diamonds a day, which 50, that's 5,000 diamonds, I believe, and so that's 1 2/3 pulls, so about 17 pulls, plus the 25 pulls, so that gives you like 40 something pulls, plus the 900 diamonds, so you probably get closer to about 50 pulls, and then you get, these perks as well, so which can be nice, especially the increased arena hero challenges. You get more challenges, which means you get more arena tokens, which means you get more things you can spend in the shop, which if you want to buy Destiny scrolls there, you could. So keep that in mind. This is one way. I've never bought the monthly cards. I think the $5 monthly card is a better deal in general. But with this event, if you're really desperate, you could do that as well. I wouldn't necessarily say this is like a great deal, but I think it's not horrible. Another area that you can spend money to get Destiny scrolls is here. For, I believe, $20, you will get all these things. 15 here, and then you get this chest where you can get 15 more, so 30. No diamonds, which is really the big hindrance, I think, with this one. Like, these resources are nice here. The blue essence is nice if you're really late game. If you're early, the purple essence is kind of nice. But besides that, it's not going to give you a ton of pulls. You'll get lucky if you get a single spirit shard from these resources. So if you're wanting to get an overall kind of bundle, you could do that, but I don't think it is a great deal for those trying to get more things to summon. Now, let's go ahead and take a look here. Yep, dimensional deals. So like I said, dimensional deals are pretty good, especially the $5 ones. I just think it's a good value. If you're going to be spending money, I don't think the summoning supplies I mentioned are great. If you have bought all these or something and you're just like spending a ton of money and you need more, like obviously you can use those, but if you're someone who is, summon these. I know I'm going to get a Taylene soon. Hey, there we go. That's my girl Taylene. I knew she'd come around. If you haven't seen my previous Taylene summoning video, I summoned like 150 pulls and I got 1 copy of her and it was really depressing. But I knew I was probably super close to getting her, so that's the one thing. But you can also get a copy of the spirit shards here. I don't even think they're called spirit shards. What are they called? It won't even tell me. This thing, the dimensional spirit thingy. You can get it here. That means you have to use your stargazing cards for it, which I would not recommend. I think you just want to save these bad boys until someone comes around that's worth pulling for. I don't think it's worth pulling these for the event, but some of you might just be like, yeah, I don't care. I'm going to still do it. And that's okay too. It's your account. It's not my account. You do whatever you want with that. All right, we got an Oku. Not really in big need of him, but wanted to pull just in case. And if those of you don't know, you can get a copy of this after a certain amount of days of summoning, which is pretty cool. I think it'd be cool if Lilith made it where you could actually buy these and permanently have them. I feel like it's an easy money kind of pumping thing. Like make it $5 or $10 and you can get this. But you basically get it for the length of the event, and then once it's done, it's done. But that's my video. That's my recommendations as far as you getting those Destiny summon scrolls with real money. Like I said, I'm not a big paid player. I might honestly get one though. I've been tempted to do one of these bad boys, just to do it. But TBD on that. But thank you guys for watching. We're really close to 1,000 subs, so make sure you hit that sub button below. Hit a like if you like this video. And as always, hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace.